Alright, she hasn't been fired in a while. Let's see if it'll start. That ain't bad, I guess. Hell of a lot better than it has been. Well, the brakes are leaking, so I didn't get the copper washer clean enough, I guess, when I put the caliper back on, but that's alright. I'll pull her into the shop there and start working on her. Well, no sooner do I get the car in here and jack it up, do I find a problem. Notice anything about these two calipers? Well, I do. They should be different. One should be a left and one should be a right. Problem is they're identical. So if you take this one, let's say, to the other side here, I guess I don't have a light ready, but it'll sit like this. This is where the brake line goes in. That'll sit on the bottom if you sit it in there the way it's on here on the other one. So I got two of the same side. Son of a bitch. And it's not the fault of the guys at the warehouse or anything, because if you look at the part numbers, they are different. But it's the same damn caliper in each box. It looks like this one, somebody just kind of fucking threw together. You know, this one actually came with a bag and instructions and everything. And here's the box that this one came out of. Looks like it's been beat to piss. Ah, fucking garbage. I guess I can't complain about the guys that I bought it from at Rock Auto, because, you know, the boxes say what they say. But I don't know, I never had a problem with the Cardone, but apparently something got fucked up along the way, so I guess I'll start on this side because I have the caliper for this one and redo all that. And yeah, this one don't really like to turn either. I can't get the wheel to turn, so I don't know. I suppose I could try taking that caliper apart and working with it. I don't know. Okay, we'll figure it out. Alright, well, I've started to take this side off. There's two bolts that go in here and here. Take those out. Now the caliper is free. I should be able to pull it off. But I'm going to take the brake line from there apart first, since I'm replacing the hoses, and unscrew the metal line from the back, and then I'll take and pull this little clip on the back side out. And that should let me pull my hose off. You kind of got to be careful with those lines. Sometimes they're pretty rusty. Flare nut wrench, like those on the ground there, works much better than a regular one because you're less likely to round it. But I got that off, came out real nice, so I'll pull that clip and then pull the whole caliper out. Well, it took some doing, but I got the caliper off, and now the rotor spins pretty good. But I'm going to take it off anyway. I've nicked it with stuff, and it's looking awfully blue, so I'm just going to replace it. I could probably still use this, but yeah, I'm not going to. I was going to buy new pads, but I think I forgot to order them, so I'm just going to use those. They got plenty of meat left on them, so I think they'll be fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the rotor off. You can see where the pad was stuck to it. But I'm going to just go ahead and pop this dust cap off, and then there should be a cotter pin in there. Pull that off, a little retaining thing, and a nut, and then I'll be able to pull the bearing out in the front, pull the whole rotor off, and get ready to put the new one on. Alright, rotor's off. Gonna have to clean that up a bunch, but here's the rotor. Now if you're cheap like me and you're not going to replace wheel bearings or that little dust seal in the back, grease seal, you're going to have to take it out, which sometimes you're not able to do, but this one I was able to do. I was able to save it. I just went around very carefully with a screwdriver and just pried up real slow, a little bit at a time, and it came out. And here's the rear bearing. I'll have to clean that out and repack it, but should be fine. So I'm gonna, well, I should probably get a better place to set those, but those are the front bearing and the dust cap and all that good garbage. So I'll set that there for now, and now I can just go ahead and get rid of this rotor and then put the new clean bearing in here with my old seal after I clean that up, and then put her back in. I'm too cheap to buy new bearings, so I'm not going to be doing that. Alright, I got the new rotor on. I did not repack the front bearings because, well, I ran out of grease. I had enough to do the back one, but not enough to do the front, so I'm just going to put the cap on. I can always take that off and repack it later. Even with the wheel on, I can still get to it, so I suppose I'll get some more of that when I go up there to get the right caliper. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dust cap back on, spray down the coating on the front side of this rotor. I did the back side already, and then should be good to go. Well, there it is, all back together, and I went ahead and I stepped on the brakes, and bled them, and they're firm now, and I can still move the tire. Well, if the tire was on it, I could move it. I can move the rotor though. So it looks like that did it. New calipers and everything. So I guess now I just get to wait until the parts store opens up on Monday and get myself the right caliper for the other side and go from there. I would have really liked to get a lot more done, but can't do it if I ain't got the parts. So I guess when I get some grease, I'll repack that front bearing. I just wanted to get it together to make sure it would work, and it does. And then I'll get the right caliper for the other side, put that in, along with all new rotor and everything, and sway bar end link. Well, I guess the shop is kind of full. I got the Seneca on the other side waiting for brake work too, and I gotta wait till the parts store opens. Well, I guess I'll have to have a day off. Yeah. Alright, got my new caliper today and some wheel bearing grease, so I think tonight I'm going to go ahead and pack my bearings, put my rotor on, put the caliper on, put the pads back in, put my new hose on, and then I'll probably pull the starter out tomorrow and go ahead and see if I can replace that bushing. And then probably pull her out of the shop and start working on something else. Not completely sure what I'm going to do, but yeah, we'll finish this up tonight. Tomorrow morning hit it again after I take my batteries in for scrap. We'll see how much I can get for them, and I guess we'll go from there. Well, I got this side done, all in, ready to go. Other wheel bearings repacked, so I'm just going to throw the tire on and drive her out of here. I'm not going to do the starter today. Kind of got a case of the scrap fever. Turned in our batteries, our old car batteries, and got $278. So I'm going to go ahead and search through what I got. And guy buys cores. I mean, he buys everything: engines, transmissions, starters, alternators, water pumps, anything you imagine, wiper motors. And I got all that junk laying around, so I'm going to see if I can't pick through what I want, get rid of the rest, make some money. So, time to put the wheels on, back this sucker out of here.